Let's see if that works. Okay. Oops. 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 Oops.
Choose from thousands of realistic voices.
What? There we go. Bam, bam. Okay. Let's see. I think I broke something. Oh, maybe I should do that too. Oops. 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 Uh, uh. Ooh. Oops. 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 Copy. There we go. All right, there we go. Oh, dang it. Forgot to do this. Settings, edit. Okay, there we are. Bam, bam, pause. Share, share, Discord, YouTube, Twitch. There we go. All right. Does that even work? There we go. All right, my bad. What up, yummers, brother? All right, let me fix this real quick. I'm still a little behind. I'm a little slow. How you doing, my friend? New version available. Okay, that works. That works. Chat live. How are you? How are you? How are you? Bam, 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 bam. Oh, oh. There we go. All right, all right, all right. Let me set this up here. Does this work? Okay, yep, that works. All right. All right. Bit tired. I know the feeling. Tell you what. What? Make sure you're eating right. And I love naps. I used to take naps after I was like 30. I used to take naps all the time, like 15-minute, 20-minute, half-hour naps here or there, whenever. But now I rarely ever do, which is odd getting older. But let's see. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. All right. I found something pretty funny to look at. What up, Cocoa Crumble? Hey-o! Cocoa Crumble cookie. I love cocoa. I freaking love cookies. I love brownies. Cocoa's probably my favorite thing. Every time I have a coffee, I make sure I put a big old scrum. These transgender folks are coming kind of hot. Thank you, Barcelona Maria Mafia. Thank you. if except for all their roid rage, that's what really freaking is so wacky. You know, it's like it's so crazy that people will talk about roid rage with weightlifters, but they don't talk about it with transgenders. You know, it's like, geez, why don't they try to help them with that? Congratulations, Coco. You're kind of hot and handsome for a trans or whatever. Thank you. But okay, that's it. All right, let's watch something funny. Then we'll get into the seriousness. It's 2 hours earlier, 2.5 hours earlier than I normally start. It's kind of cold here in Georgia. You're very welcome. Keep going. I remember it took me a long time to get to 50, and then I got to 1,000 right around Christmas time, and now I'm at over 2,000. So as they pick up slowly, and then it just starts to take off. Finally, someone with a sense of humor. Thank you. Hey, listen, do you remember back during COVID when they like canceled comedy? Because they knew that they were doing asking such stupid things, and they didn't want the hypocrisy called out, you know? So it was like they stopped comedy. Comedians weren't allowed to say anything. Yeah, that's what up, Georgie? I took the day off today. Stay home and watch your channel. It's much more productive than working. I agree. How are you, Georgie? I love how YouTube automatically censors most of Maria's comments. Are they not showing up? I want to see your leprechaun avatar. Oh, your leprechaun avatar? Sure, we'll take a look. It doesn't even show up in the chat. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Wait a second, Maria. It's not showing up in the chat. Showing up. So I have an aggregator. I'm dual streaming to Twitch and to YouTube, obviously. So I have an aggregator that pulls the chats together. So I think if it's banned on YouTube, I'm not grabbing it from the channel that you watch. I'm grabbing it from the actual API underneath the censorship. So I'm not all about that. That's someone to be. You look a lot like someone. Who is that? Ildeniak. Man, am I missing the spacing somewhere? Ildeniak. What is the comedy you speak of? Never heard of it. Right, Albert. Right, exactly. They got rid of it. Gnostics is gay. Gnostics nightmare. That's funny, GN. All right, you'll be back. All right. Hey, what's going on, Aaron, brother? How are your chickens? Doing really good. I got when it started to become winter here, when we got into winter, they slow down egg production. Like instead of getting like one a day or about one a day, I only got down to like 4 or 5. I got 8 total, so 4 or 5 eggs every morning, ish. But then as it starts to warm up, they don't need as much energy to keep themselves warm, so they produce more eggs. You look like a thinner version of Jeff Daniels. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Jeff Daniels. What's up, Brianna? All right, we'll give us a second, Coco, and I'll look at your channel for 1 second. Let's look up Jeff Daniels. All right, let's take a look. A skinnier version or a thinner version? Jeff Daniels GLP-1? Ozempic Jeff Daniels? Oh, wow, I haven't thought about that guy in a long time. Yeah, I think you're right. I definitely got a much more freaking manly nose. I broke this thing 12 times skateboarding. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's got like... did I block? I timed him out, yeah. What did you do with the extra eggs? So he finally listen, he obviously he thought I was Jewish. And so he was trying to beat me down thinking I was Jewish, and then he finally came out and said, "Stupid Jew." So I knew he was only here to cause trouble. I'm not even Jewish. So he just wanted to be an ass, so I got rid of him. Aaron, the neighborhood kids and stuff will come by. The neighborhood parents and stuff like they'll come by with their kids and like they collect eggs. So, yeah. Do you think the web feet children of Alabama should be granted citizenship? Absolutely. How are we gonna stir the broth if we're not putting it? We need them feet. You look like an older Michael Jackson. No, I don't. Yeah, Jeff Daniels, awesome, definitely. Yeah, I like. Okay, let's look at Coco Crumble's JAMA Later 5000 here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Wait a second. You're trying to tell me that's what? That's a leprechaun? This is a leprechaun there? I don't look like a leprechaun. That looks like an upside down freaking nightmare. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. An upside down nightmare. All right, somebody mentioned something earlier. I wanted to look it up. It didn't work. No, okay, my bad. You look like my future ex-husband. We can make that. We can make that happen, Brianna. We can play make believe. How dare you? Do we have boots on the ground in Iran yet? I heard 20,000 men. I don't know. So I've heard people from Iran told me that there's Marines on the ground on the island that Iran uses for military production and oil production. They put it all on the same island. I guess that doesn't make sense militarily, but whatever. So apparently they took that out, and it's for oil, right? So the oil plants, the oil not distilleries, refineries weren't bombed. So I'm sure that because now it's a mess, you don't want other countries to come in and take control during the chaos, to take control of the resources. So probably, but the thing is, so there's military on the island, but there's no Iranian army on the island. So they're not in as far as I know. So this all could be propaganda wackadoodle. So believe what you want to believe. Don't destroy personal relationships over politics. You don't know which side. The people you're arguing with are hearing lies, and you're hearing lies, and no one knows what's the truth. No, I'm not Jewish. Not Jewish, brother. She's already planning a divorce. Yeah. She's already planning a divorce. She's running off of fumes. It's all right, girl. All right, girl. Rich, they think you're one of us because you're so smart. Like, you gotta be Jewish. You're so smart. He actually referenced that on one of his last chats. He broke his nose multiple times. He looks, yeah. People get it all. Listen, so you have people that are Jewish that think I'm Jewish, and you have people that don't like Jews that think I'm Jewish. I prefer the ones that think I'm Jewish because they're nice about it rather than people that just like to hate people. Is the UN going in with men? I seriously doubt it. I haven't heard anything at all about that. The UN is pretty much worthless look, they haven't stopped any wars. The UN has gotten super powerful and profitable. And when things happen, they're like, maybe we shouldn't intervene in other countries' businesses. Well, that's why you're the UN. So other countries don't have to intervene. Yeah, it's so wackadoo. They're not letting common public. That's a good freaking question. The cur. That's a good question. Do you want to know what I believe? I believe it's because it would ruin a lot of science data when it has to do with when science can't prove history because science has to be repeatable, right? So there was a lot of things that happened where we dug down, which would have been like 100,000 years deep in the ice, and there was an airplane from World War II, right? So obviously it wasn't 10,000 years ago. And if they let people, the ice cores is what's used in a lot of science to say what happened millions of years ago. Like they say, oh, because this was found 7,000 billion layers deep, it was a billion years ago. If the average person was allowed, the average citizen scientist was allowed to go, and they're like, wait a second, I was 1.2 million deep and I found frickin' a Superman's comic, then it would start really breaking a lot of narratives. You see it. What up? How about lots of money? Yeah. I'd like to have lots of money. I don't have a big nose, even though air is free. Right, that's the joke. If you were Jewish, I'd still watch your channel, and not racist at all. Bam! There you go. Listen, this is the stupid thing about all the isms, racism, anti-Semitism, and then the phobias. Islamophobic, freaking wackophobic, whatever. It's about good people and bad people. It doesn't matter what you say you are if you're a good person. If you're trying to use what other people are or what you say you are to hurt other people, then you're an, what you call, and let me look at the scientific word. You're an asshole. That's the problem. What up, Lord Leeway? Antarctica has a lot of stuff going on there, especially the ice wall. What up, Bill? You're trying to call me Bill Nye? What up, Michael? Michael Michello, Michael Ophelia, Mike Mikel. Jeez, dude, I can't read. Like it, see what? What am I looking for? Oh, you're talking about the. What are you talking about? Cookie. Oh, that one. Okay, I see. There you go. Much better. That's nice. Keep up the good work. 53 subscribers. So you're on your way there. You're on your way there. I just tried Jeff Daniels' like favorite sandwiches there. He takes peanut butter, crunched up chips, barbecue sauce. Pretty good, actually. Listen, peanut butter is good stuff. I mean, it's really, listen, a lot of peanut butter is really bad for you. Like the stuff that's pre-mixed that doesn't separate. Dude, wait till the science comes out about that. I can chop it today. Yeah, I'm probably pretty good with it. I freaking chopped the back of cars, asphalt, pool coping, half pipe coping, sidewalk. I've chopped a lot of stuff with it. Holy shoot, you actually look like the vegan teacher, Rich. I can't see it now. Yeah, no, yeah. I actually did a YouTube short like a year ago about that. I'd like to try that, but I don't like barbecue. Yeah. You got to mix it how you want. Rich, did you know Jewish people in Maryland? Yes, I know a lot. Yeah. Yeah, we were pretty cool. It's not true. That's not true. UN is good. Look at Norway and Sweden join UN now. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying that they're not, that they don't stop any wars. Like they haven't stopped any. They get involved and then they get other countries involved that do the stopping. They're like if you see how justice works. Somebody commits a crime or does something. The police come in, sweep up the evidence into a dustpan, and then they dump it into the lap of a prosecutor to say, hey, were any crimes actually committed? If so, the prosecutor is the one. So they go in and they feed people and stuff. I'm not saying that's bad. They help, they do good. But for when it comes to stopping wars, the UN hasn't, as far as I know, they haven't stopped any. I'm not a big fan of barbecue sauce either. I just had to use a little, maybe that one. I like, depends. Listen, if you make your own barbecue sauce, you can tweak it and however, the ingredients, however you like, and it's not that hard. It's like 4 ingredients. Hey, I love you too. Love you too. What up, man? It's going good. The UN is nothing like what Eleanor Roosevelt had in mind. They're just anti-Israel for him now. And this is a big thing too, right? What the UN is supposed to do. And I'll tell you right now, there's a big problem when I'm gonna tell you something important about politics. Do not be one-sided like blue or red. That's just like saying like I'm black or white. You can't do that because people will invade other sides. You have fake people running as Republicans that are actually Democrats and running as Democrats that are actually Republicans. You have to look at everybody, the content of their character, so to speak. And what happened over the years is it was so profitable because what the UN would do was they would set up donations, or they would take donations from around the world. But remember, they're not volunteers. They get paid $250,000 a year off of those donations that come in and from around the world, and then distribute. I think they don't, I might want to check me on this, but I think they only have to distribute 7%. So if you give them $100 million in donations, 7% of that is what actually goes to the people for what the donations were to. The rest goes to the structure, the buying the buildings and the rent and paying the people and whatnot. It's not all volunteers. Happy to see you thriving and finally free of rehab. You deserve that peace. Thank you, brother. China now getting ready to take over Taiwan. That's a possibility too. Big thing. It's like we have worldwide news networks that say different things in different parts of the world because they get paid by different things and different companies in different parts of the world to as sponsors and whatnot. So they'll spew the propaganda that's best for that country. So we don't really know what's going on. But that's not what the UN is and does. They're not the world police. They don't have a military. They are just right. And but a lot of people think that they're the ones that should stop. Like the average citizens think that that's what they are. That they're the ones that, but they don't. They've stopped zero wars. They don't do that. After a war is done, they'll go in and do humanitarian work to make sure after the armies or the combatants have been wiped out, that the citizens of whatever country, like when you hear this country and this country's at war, it's the armies of this country and this country that are at war, not the people, right? And that's a big problem, separating the people from their leaders. In America, they basically force you to declare an affiliation, but I agree with you. Yes, right. Well, so some states you register as a party, and some you just register as a voter. So yeah, I agree. They're bringing down Russia. Russia's selling out the oil to China and North Korea. Yeah, the almighty dollar or ruble. What do you think is is it a religious war? I think they're using religion to get power. If you know anything about the religions in that area, especially when it comes to Iran, they're using their own interpretation of Islam to make sure that they keep power. So when most people hear Muslim and they think, okay, Muslims are Muslims, but just like Christians, there's Catholics and Mormons and whatnot. They're all sects of Christianity, and it happens. There's Shia and Sunni Muslims. They believe some important differences in their religions, but they're not following what other like why are things so rough in Iran but not in the UAE? Why is it so much more prosperous in the UAE? It's an unofficial. Yeah. They just want. People want money and power. No, they're being part of NATO. They're helping Ukraine, Russia. I think, and to be honest, and I don't know a whole lot about them. I didn't spend like 5 years studying it. We think of them as like, just so that the people think of the United States as the United States, but it's a bunch of states. So there's some people and some forums in the UN and NATO that will do different things. So that they'll help two countries that are combating with each other, especially if they're both members of NATO. But, Sky News is very left wing. Sky Australia is right wing. Right. All right. Sky News UK. Right. What's up, Lamb, brother? About install a snorkel with all the rain getting over here trying to get bogged down in a splash puddle. Brother, snorkels are freaking awesome on especially like when you see sports cars with snorkels. I seen a Lamborghini with snorkels and it went underwater. It had snorkels and exhaust ports that went above water and they sealed it all. It was pretty cool. Obviously it was trashed afterwards, but it still ran. The Sunnis more subsect to them. Shia Sunnis are more subsect. Right, and more. And this is the thing. They don't teach people about, like, the average person doesn't in America, in Norway, what they don't know. They hear Christian, they hear Muslim, they don't know that there's a bunch of different, like saying, they hear United States, but the United States is a bunch of states that have their own constitutions too. So it's just like, yeah, and the news is a show. The news is just a television show, just like watching a video game or whatever. It's a show meant to make money from advertisers. So they don't have to say the truth all the time. They say their opinion. So they hire people to say what they feel is going on, and then we hear that and we think, oh my goodness, it's the truth. But no, it's their truth, which is not the truth all the time. Seeing as there's a political discussion, guys, it's Rich. Which Republican would you align with based on their policies, morals, and not party affiliation? Which Republican? Probably closer to like DeSantis. If I was in Florida. And this is why I'm looking to go to Florida. He's even-handed when it comes to the needs of the Democrat people, not the Democrat leaders. Remember, the Democrat people don't often agree with the Democrat leaders. They just vote Democrat because that's what they've always done. So this is a big thing. But the reason is he wants to do away. Okay, he's fair on abortion. He's fair on humanitarian issues. He's fair on dealing with poverty. He's fair and property taxes. If you buy a home in Florida, and this is what they're trying to do, he wants to remove property taxes after you pay off your mortgage. So they get property tax while you have a mortgage. But then after 30 years or however long your mortgage is, once you pay it off and once you own your house, you own your land. So that means that if you don't pay the gas bill or the tax bill, they can't come and take your home. If you die, your kids can come and just start living in the home without having to worry about, like, if you die and then and you're not, obviously you're dead, you're not paying taxes, and then the state can come and take the house, sell it to a bank that can resell the home over and over and over again over the decades. So once you're done paying it off, you own that piece of land and that home that's on there. So Lamborghini, I remember 100% the guy from Wheel of Fortune TV show with Vanna White committing. What? I remember 100% the guy from Wheel of Fortune TV show with Vanna White a long time ago, Glendale, California. So he used to live in Maryland, down the street from where I lived in Maryland. I had a girlfriend that lived in the same community that he lived. He had a house there, and his name was Pat Sajak. I don't want to look up that. I don't want to look up suicide stuff, but I came to know Christianity, Judaism, Islam, all the branches of the same tree. Right. They're Abrahamic religions. Most people don't even know that. Most people, even Christians, Muslims, don't even know that. Right. That's good. That's good that you know that. Only Judaism is by far, right, Judaism is the oldest, right? Only issues the entire engine pivots with the rear swing arm, so I need 48 millimeter bendable pipe for that area. What up, Lamborghini? Do you know... I don't speak Hebrew, me neither. Ding dongs or ho-hos? Freaking ding dongs. Ding dongs. Ho-hos. Turning into pogs once again. Just for a moment, ND, how are you? We're gonna go to something. I wanted to watch something funny. Oh shit, I'm way behind. Sorry. Do you mean there are Dems who yes, right. Listen, the problem with the current Democratic Party is that a lot of people are faking it till they make it. You see a lot of these people that the only thing that they can say, in the Republicans and the Democrats, but particularly now the Democrats have more people that are just like, whenever a question is asked, how are we going to save the world? Well, the first thing we got to do is get Trump out of office. And then you have Republicans like, the first thing we do is we need to make sure that, right. But the thing is, what's the issue? What are you going to do? And they can't answer it. And so they just paid to get into office. And that's the shit that drives me so crazy. I want to hear answers. I want to know how my investments, how my retirement, how my children are going to be affected by your changes. Not just get rid of Trump. I'm just so tired of it. Slowed 606. Yes, I remember you. I think you're on the wall still too. Yo, DDT. Oh, DTT. I said I came to know. I haven't read much, so you know. Yeah. I have a lot of languages that I want to learn. I want to learn too. It's 10 light. No, it's not free. It's ND. He's a freaking liar. I had a crush on you for a long time. I doubt. Let's look it up. I seriously doubt it. But you're supposedly you own the land, so in Florida. If you no longer have to pay property taxes, do you have mineral rights on the land? Property taxes, do you get? You know what I'm going to look this up right now, but I think I already know the answer. So I'll say this is the wrong thing right here. I'm about to hit enter on this. Okay. What I think you have a right, the government right of way is like after 20 feet, I'm not sure the exact, it might be 12 feet below the surface, That's you right, because like they underneath your house, if they want to run gas lines or power lines, I believe the government owns that. I'm not sure. That's up. All right. Oh, okay. If you no longer have to pay, have to pay. All right. I probably should have said this better. If Florida changes the law that you don't have to pay property taxes, do you get mineral rights? Oops. Oops. If Florida changes the law that you don't have to pay property taxes, do you get mineral rights to the land? So it means you own the land, but you do not automatically have ownership of underground mineral rights. So we'd have to look into it more, but I seriously doubt it. Listen, it's like that's like when I lived in Maryland. All right, let me catch up here. You own nothing. That phrase, and you'll love it. In Green's theorem, viable to solve electric flux equation. Give reasoning for the same. We're not going to swap topics right now. I'm land fused. Thacula, you're right. All three major religions come from Abraham. That's right. That's right. Pat Sajak. Yes, Pat Sajak. Yep. Happy to see you come up as a proud Libiquita member. Thank you, Thigo. Where's ND? I can't get emotionally invested. Don't get emotionally invested. Don't do it, Stinson. Rich, you worked in films. What do you think how the right has changed lately? Okay, so here's the thing people don't understand about Hollywood and actors. They're actors. When you see them, when they're on other people's podcast stuff, they're being paid. So if they're conservatives, they don't want their money to go away. They do not want their money to go away to taxes and whatnot. But they're paid to be liberal, and then you'll see what'll happen when you see the difference between like when there was Republican leadership in California and liberal leadership in California. The way that the talk changed. Everybody, all the movies became like patriotic and everything, and everybody's like, yeah, America, I'm so blessed for this. And now they're like, oh, because they're paid. They're not going to come on camera if they're not being paid. They blew the lid off of NASA. NASA's all about Hollywood and CGI. Right. Everyone's calling me ND, straight busted. My crush is Marsha Brady. A lot of people wear fabric napkins. I rarely go to restaurants, but I use fabric napkins here. They're actually called organic paper napkins, but they're made of cotton. So it's just the advertising that they put on it, what they put on the tin, but inside they're actually cotton napkins. But yeah, the ones at restaurants are pretty good because the companies that come pick them up, at least here in Georgia and where I've worked in Maryland, I've worked for Capitol Grill and high end establishments. They're almost all either black or white, and they get bleached and taken care of. So yeah, they come back sterilized. I mean, I'm sure leaving it up to a big company, they'll try to save money. What did Andy know? It's actually Chihuahua. Is it Clem? Yeah, there you go. Are you Clementine Lamb? I mean, Daily is banished from this realm. They have control of your energy, food, your mind, your money. Right. But the biggest thing that they did was they convinced us that we're not slaves. They keep talking about slavery like it's been overcome, but it's not. They just changed it. They made more slaves. Hey, lamb, dust. The longer Trump is in office, the more he'll destroy systems. Right. But the problem is they need solutions. So why they should be saying what they'll do after he's out. But the longer that they just say that he broke everything or whatever, what will they do once they get power? And those questions aren't being answered. But I agree. New trade with wild countries, war with people going outside. You say you're from Canada. I'm not from Canada. I guess you're not talking to me. Holy Spirits is loving all his females. Angels ask God saves and loves those and all. Do for dudes for news. Oh, thank you, Lee, brother. I know Brianna. All right, let me start trying to catch up here. I love you, Andy. No one knows who you are, Andy. Hello, bye. Oh, now he's ND. The constructive lies that appear to be the truth. Yeah. Listen, people aren't told how to find truth. They're just told what to believe. Republican and Democrat, conservative. It's the people are in power. You have to find good people to be Republicans and Democrats. Enough people have slipped in with corporate sponsorship that everything's gone to trash. Fabric napkins are the grossest thing, man. I listen. Sorry. Let me change it. I don't use cloth napkins for my food. I use disposable napkins for my food. For washcloths, for dish towels, everything like that, I use cloth. I wash them myself. But yeah, restaurant ones, they could fall. That's up to you. But yeah, it does feel weird to try to wipe your mouth with but I use cotton wherever I can. I heard yesterday the crew from Memos of Challenger Space Shuttle X are all still alive. Listen, I heard that too, brother. I heard that too. Love you too. Let's hope Rubio takes over. Nice, normal guy. Listen, if there was to be an election right now between, regardless, even if they weren't Republican or Democrat next to their name, just as people, if it was Gavin Newsom versus Rubio, I would vote Rubio. I would take money to be on Rubio's side. I would do it without taking money because it's obvious enough now that the scam is to say you're going to fix problems, start non-governmental organizations like nonprofits and take a bunch of money from the government and don't do anything about it. It's just too obvious now. And too shallow, and he stopped hating on the big dog. If Veritas was still here, he'd disagree with you right now. Right. I bet he could beat Lamb in a dance-off. Proof it's not true. Okay, hold on. I forgot I wanted to have some fun here. All right, let's get back to something funny. All right, where are we at? All right, dude, this stuff. I'm falling in love with this stuff. Where does it go? 149%. Never. The system choose people, not vice versa. The system never fails. Hold on. The system chooses people, not vice versa. The system never fails with people, and when people fail, the system changes ruthlessly. Sometimes wipes as them never exist. Hold on. System choose the people, not vice versa. Right. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. The system changes ruthlessly. And so imagine this. The Republicans and Democrats that are in office now could buy their way in. It's obvious enough now that you can buy the vote. And that's pretty obvious in a lot of cases. Like what's going on here. And I get different propaganda than you guys get. In my state, our federal, our Fulton County Board of Elections has been busted, and they found like 300,000 votes. Almost 100,000 of them were mail-in ballots that weren't folded, which means that they weren't ever mailed in. And so we know, and whether they were Republican or Democrat, we don't know. So it's easy enough to buy the vote. People can just print them off. And so that needs to be done because we're fighting over lies and we're destroying personal relationships over lies. So we got first thing first, they got to fix the vote. So then another whoever can't get elected. I got moves. Don't drop the soap, lamb. George is pretty conservative. It's both. So like my neighbors, I've got liberal and conservative neighbors. And I say this a lot. They argue. They'll be like, you voted for the orange man, you idiot. Well, you voted for a babbling freaking word salad woman. Oh, hey, by the way, can you pick my daughter up from gymnastics now? They're not vicious over it. They're not like you ruined the world. You know, it's like these people that we see on the internet are the worst of the worst. Most people understand, okay, this person got elected that I didn't vote vote for. How do I make the best out of it for me and my family and my mental health, rather than just flipping out and going to jail and beating people and doing wackadoodle stuff. They're just like, okay, so this is it the next 4 years. So how do I handle my investments and stuff? Not, oh my God, my neighbors are racist. Yeah, there are alligators in Georgia. Yeah, not 5 minutes from my house. I mean, I could walk to a big old nature conservatory, a privately owned nature conservatory that's got alligators in it. Not. Let's say 10-minute walk from my house, like a 30-second drive. All right, let's get back to the fun. Go find an alligator. It's too cold right now. I'm not messing with them. I mean, I'll film some for you guys. AI is the most BS that happened to us. Now they're changing the 1980s videos as per their choice. Right. I would. We don't. Like, you can get alligator. Yeah, you can get alligator meat. Yeah, so you can get alligator meat right here. Alligator fillets. Walmart breaded alligator nuggets. Yeah, you can get it. They filmed James Bond alligator thing in Georgia. Did they? I don't think any Bond's been filmed in Atlanta. James Bond alligator scenes filmed in Georgia. It was not filmed in Georgia. It was filmed in Jamaica. Lamb. You are what you eat, though. Yeah, I don't eat it. Yeah, I mean, I would. Because I'm an apex predator.
Hello, everyone. Get set for some outrageous job site disasters that prove
an alligator with a toothpick on stream.
Seriously, doesn't this sound exactly like your last...
Listen, I'm not freaking... Okay, so I could do that. I would bring a bunch of food and feed that alligator till it was full and about to sleep. Then I would. No way. But they are portraying AI as a boom for common man. They can hide and alter anything. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, and this is why I tell people, do not destroy personal relationships, marriages, friends over politics, because you don't know what's true. You know, if someone's a good person, you can't tell someone's a bad person because they voted Democrat or voted Republican. They don't even know what's actually going on, right? Not gonna lie, it's a nice alligator burger for me. Here you go, Project. Jamaica. No, she didn't. She did it of her own accord. Did she? Jamaica? Jamaica do it? Did you really know lamb is not really a lamb? The deception. The deception.
Last workday. Let's get started.
Warning. Yeah, have you ever?
Oh, no.
Jeez, that's so absolutely. Oh, dude, he could have broke his freaking legs. I thought lamb was just a cute lamb. He told me like lion too.
Bro, make that make sense, please.
I'm a lamb. I got 2 left feet. Why would you do such stupid things? Why would you take shells out?
Skip the manual, unlocked hard mode.
Now he's gonna sit there and wait for it to run out of gas. What the? You people are so dumb. It's not even holding the ladder for him. Oh, if he would have smacked his freaking head on that brick freaking he's really just a middle-aged British guy who enjoys Baileys in his garden.
Wrong sport.
I know them.
Bobsledding said
What's going on, Abdul, brother? I am cute. Yeah, his teeth blew out. Yeah, he had dentures. Have you seen They Live? Yes, They Live was a great freaking movie. Yes, I mentioned 2025 year when they can have control over everything and enjoy the elite one. Just when the main character puts the glasses on, right? It's like, yeah, that was a great freaking movie. As cute as that screaming frog on YouTube. He's as cute as a screaming frog. slurry that they're pumping down there, that's how you get oil out. You pump down mud, and because oil floats on water, that muddy mixture that gets pushed down, the oil floats up on top. So they just have a big globule of oil underground. They fill that with mud so that if it was empty, if they just pumped it out, then the ground could collapse. It's on YouTube for free. There you go. Is that what up, Kurosaki? That's the movie. All right, let's see what Rick and Lamb. Let's do what ND puts here. Hopefully that's it. Well, oh, that's a cute freaking frog. That's a cute frog. Hold on, let me get it. Jeez. I grew up watching Benny Hill, and now I see women differently. It's like I was programmed. Yep. Welcome to the truth. Welcome to the truth. And did you know that a lot of the guys that got Me Too'd, that got fired from the movie industry, the entertainment industry for allegations of misconduct, now they're being hired back. So I tell people, no matter what happens to you, just stay alive long enough and it'll reverse. So all these guys, it's like 30 guys that made huge movies, huge property, where people just said, oh my God, he did this, he did that. No evidence. It was all lies. And so now here it is, 15 years later, they're back into the entertainment industry. Because basically what happened is you had what's looking like it's happened. You had a group of women that decided that they were going to take over the entertainment industry by using false allegations. They had a couple of true allegations, and then they all jumped on the bandwagon. So now they had access to make the movies and the media for the past 10 years or so. And then now that's all being undone. Frog is not a toad. That's Lamb. That's me. What up? Elon said we are in a singularity, if I'm not mistaken. Weeks before just flying away. Probably something strange with space time. Right. I do a lot, brother. I do a lot every single day, at least one. Why does everyone refuse to join U.S. Alliance to protest? Why does everyone refuse to join the alliance to protest it or protect it? To protect it? Potato. What up, Jovian? They moved to dominate the gaming industry. Yeah, and when you see what happened, like this will be coming out in the next couple days. The really bad like gaming industry takeover from people that are they're just freaking jerks. They were being paid by the government. They were getting hundreds of thousands of dollars from the government to make video games and stuff like that to try to push a narrative. The problem is you had people that got that money and could have done positive things. Instead, they were just like, no, now that I'm in power, you're going to suffer. No, how about you get in power to help everybody? No, they want to suffer, protect. Yeah. I don't know why they're not, brother. I think they're worried about Iranian sleeper cells attacking them. That's the only thing I could agree. And I never mentioned I'm from India. I hope you don't. I don't mind, brother. Stupid thing talking too much, but blames the evil. I agree, it's evil. No, I don't care. I don't care where you're from. It's great. Good. Listen, I don't care at all about race, creed, color, religion. It's either you're a good person or you're a bad person. If you're a good person, kick ass. Welcome. Let's freaking take over the world. Where is Wawa and Cat? Cat's at work right now. No. Not they frack. They suck it. Then they have wells around in the pump. It's called injection wells. They could use steam for injection wells as well. So the slurry extraction method is, I believe, what they were doing. Well, slurry extraction. So you're talking about fracking. That's getting natural gas out. But I'm talking about and I may be wrong, but I was talking about for actual oil. When removing oil from the ground, what slurry is used and why? Self-drilling slurries, mainly water-based bentonite polymers or muds, used to stabilize well borers, lubricate drills, lift cuttings. In contamination cleanup, especially emulsifiers, surfactants used for Okay, so it's used to get the muck out of the way until they get to the oil. I see what you're saying. Okay, pump, baby, pump. Welcome back, Coco. Please check to see if Tesla car Elon sent up Yeah, it's still there. It's still there. It's still there. Outer space Tesla car live stream. Here it is. This is the live stream right here. This is it. That's the live stream. Wouldn't it be so funny if someone opened the door and got in, or a studio light fell? That's my wife. And oil. Right, there you go. For drilling. Gotcha. I was incorrect. Now I'm corrected. Thank you, my friend. Learn from school, learn from YouTube. Yeah, right. No, learn from YouTube stream. Right, exactly, right. School taught me how to fist fight. Right, school, and how to try to pick up girls and find where the party's at. Look, Earth's coming into view. Hey, wait a second. It's not flat. Wait a second. It's not flat. That was a brilliant marketing move, though, to do this so people can get people on SpaceX's. That was brilliant. It's all CGI. What up, ProFact, brother? It's all CGI. It probably is. School taught me how to. Only gay love Tesla. Man love V6, V8 with twin turbos. There you go, Billy. That's fake. Earth is 100%, 110% flat, and we learned it here, brother. 110th grade. After doing the act, you perverted hence the Earth is round, but perhaps 5%. I think it's more than that. I think it's more. Let me say. Percentage of people believe the world is flat. Village people, percent. It says only 66% believe it's round. That's 34% think it's flat. That's so crazy. I4s, I6s are better than V6s. Be it anyway. The year 2022 will be bleak, some astronauts. Yeah, but listen, these people sell fear. Think about this. If you work in astronomy, right, and you say the world's going to end in 2032, you become very popular. Now a bunch of people are going to watch everything you say. They're going to buy your shirts, they're going to buy your hats, they're going to watch your live streams, and they're going to watch you. You sell fear. So then people will know. And then you can say, look, if we figured out a way that we can stop this asteroid from destroying Earth. We just need $200 million. Then you raise $200 million, and then you say, look, it's going to be tomorrow when we're all going to be dead. And then when you don't die tomorrow, they'll be like, we did it. We all survived. We all worked. Look, here's some AI footage of how we saved the Earth. It's all crap. It's actually concave. That's right. 110% goes over. Only 60. Yes, that's crazy. I believe it's flat. I always love gasoline vehicles these days. I'm beginning to look towards electric cars. They are fun. They're very fast, instant torque. But if you're going to buy one to save the planet, no. I would if I had the money to buy race cars and stuff, I would buy an electric car, absolutely. But I'm not gonna spend $80,000 to save the planet when I could spend $4,000 to drive around. The Earth, that's about right. The average person's pretty dumb, and half the people are dumber than average. Yup, right. That's exactly right. Sir, do you believe in the butterfly effect? Kind of. In some topics, yeah. In some things, I do. It's just like exponential education. One person lies to two people lie to four people, or whatever, or it doesn't have to be a lie, but also it's the same thing, but for lies in particular, and then then that person that believed the thing taught a class of 30, then they all believe that lie is true because their professor told them, and then those people, some grow up to become professors and teachers, and then 30, it just keeps expounding. Electric is far better from torque converters. You got to get high RPM electric. You get 100% torque, right? Instant torque. Trump is working hard for oil, and some asshole said innocent people are dying in Iran. Look at your gas prices. You are no, you think the worst person in the world. Right, yeah. I'm making a shirt now that says I'm the smartest person in this shirt. Person on YouTube telling people to leave the Middle East last year, July, calling them there will be a catastrophic event in the Middle East. Yeah. Some people, look, a broken clock is right twice a day. The Earth is a solid fart. This is what up, Lemon Bendai Bio. This is hilarious to me because no one has ever found the edge of the earth. And that's right. We've looked. Electric is far heavier than gasoline systems. Right. They're not as efficient, and you know where your electricity comes from. I have found the edge. Mel, how you doing, Mel, brother? Butterfly effect and 6 degrees of separation are cousins. I agree. I asked my teacher if electric car environmental free. Why are they not using electric cars made from burning coals, oil? Right, and to create the batteries and things that are uses much more carbon. They use more energy to create the car than a carbon dioxide to make the car and all of its components, then the amount of carbon dioxide the car will offset in its lifetime. 1 gallon of gasoline will always, until material science gets better, take up less space. That's right. America's spending millions of dollars every single day on war. A Tomahawk costs like $3 million each. Yep. His teacher is right. The people that found the edge fell off. That's exact. There you go. Habibi, don't come to Dubai. Lithium's huge, right? Well, now they're going to start using sodium, which is more dense, Amy. So we'll see what happens. Great Richard is you're well good. So thank you, my friend. People forget e-waste is actually a thing. Right. Not in their backyard though. Rich, why do some people mad at Austria for having windmills for energy? Are they so obtrusive? No. But listen, if you want to start a nonprofit to get paid from the government, you create a problem in people's minds. You say that they're killing the birds, that they're destroying the ecosystem, even though they're in places that there was nothing, not even farmland, but there could be. So then you create a nonprofit that gets paid from the government to investigate these things. So then you're like, wow, I'm getting $250,000 a year to investigate if windmills do something. Now, if I come up with another problem, I can do this forever. Because if you solve the problem, you get fired. You're done. Your nonprofit closes down. Finally, someone speaking sense in here. I believe the last generation to enjoy combustion engine. Listen, I think it's going to become even bigger. Listen, we've developed there are so many engine cores in dumps and stuff that can be remachined. And once we get manufacturing back in America, where the average person has access to go say, hey, fix this for $200, you're gonna see a lot more hot rods, I believe. Windmills decimate bird and avian populations. That's what I heard. They got the edge, the cat pushed them off, right? Just like a cup. So now, so matter supercapacitor, 1,000 years life, instant charge, right? And there's a bunch of stuff that's working on that too. When you fall off the edge, you'll be transported to Valhalla. Only solar energy is best green energy, and only in the daytime. Absolutely, brother. Same logic. Water wheels decimate fish populations. We need hydrogen-powered cars and trucks. Tesla-free energy. Yeah, more hydroelectric dams. Use gravity. Right. My per observational pollution is nothing but disturbance we created or agreed. Right. It's our fault. It's not our fault. We are not affecting. We know that we are producing more carbon dioxide, but we don't know. There's some scientists that say it's bad, and there's some that say it's good. The ones that say it's bad, because if you tell everybody that all the money you've saved you won't be able to spend because you're destroying the earth, if you scare them, then they'll spend the money to save some of their money. It's wackadoo. Do you know when the oil reserves will end from? Never. We got no idea. We're discovering more and more all the time. The big thing is pharmaceuticals. 99% of all pharmaceuticals are made from oil also. And if we're running out for cars, that industry will want the oil for themselves. The car industry wants it for themselves. We have hydrogen-powered vehicles. Mostly hydrogen vehicles are heavy in construction equipment. Yeah, and buses and stuff. Have you seen the mechanical batteries? The solid state batteries. Yeah, they're freaking really cool. Beetlejuice impression. Or are you talking about the thermal batteries, like the sand batteries and whatnot? They heat the sand up. And then mechanical batteries are insane. Those ones with the 40-ton flywheels, those are cool too. It's good for plants, right, which means more food for people, right? Back in the day, there was panic about the ozone layer, and then there was panic about acid rain, and then it was panic about oil, and it's just rinse and repeat. Oil is technically a renewable resource. It came from somewhere. Says there's bacteria that make it. That came out in the 1980s, but no one wanted to hear it. Everyone wanted to believe that the only way to get oil was to wait tens of millions of years. But we found bacteria in nature that was making oil. 1980s scuba divers that discovered bacteria creating oil. Okay. Scuba diver. Okay. Consuming, not consuming it. Creating oil. Where's it at? This is all talking about bacteria eating oil. Maybe it's not 1980s. I could have swore it was 1980. Scientists. Researchers have identified marine bacteria that produce oil as a part of the carbon cycle. These bacteria in the North Atlantic Gulf create compounds such as protectane, which is estimated to be the produce 500 times greater than man-made oil. There's for everything that comes out in science, there's evidence for or evidence against. But if you're trying to make money, you don't publish the evidence against. Let me see what I missed. Gravity battery. Make it happen. Come in country, sell aside electric tractor. The farmer will buy one and switch to an electric car. Listen, global warming is real, but is it bad? Is it bad? That's the thing. That's the thing that there's scientific consensus for and against. If you want to make money off of it, you talk to 10 scientists, and the 5 that agree with you, you publish their work. You don't publish the 5 that disagree with you. So, and this is a big, big problem. Gramps skipped the Beetlejuice comment. Did I? Can you do a Beetlejuice impression? No. Can you spell ND? FW? Yeah. Oil is from fossils. That's right. Oil's from fossils. Except, but why is no oil found around fossils? Why don't we find around every fossil a microscopic layer of oil from their fats and whatnot? Why don't we find that? It's very interesting. Look into that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen at all, but it doesn't happen as often and there's nobody that was there millions of years ago to say it. Why don't dinosaur bones clog up our pumping equipment when we're pumping oil out? Because we got filters, but how come no one's ever seen any? They say we'll be underwater for years. Obviously, they stopped building beachfront property. Has not happened. You don't think global warming is real when you see life migrate? No. I didn't say it's not real. I said there's still scientific consensus whether it's going to be bad. So, and if it's cyclical, then if it gets to a temperature and then cools down, then how will we know? And this is a big thing too. They're talking about ice cores telling us the past. But if it gets hot and then it melts and then it refreezes, we don't exactly know. And there's just evidence for and against. And B12. Oh, damn, I'm way behind. Jeez, you guys. What do you know about fossils, Lamb? Oil is just organic matter subject to high pressure and heat. I am one. Canola oil. Canola oil is Canadian oil. CAN is Canadian. O is oil. L is low acid. It used to be rapeseed oil, but they found a way to remove some of the acidity out of oil, and they created one called canola oil. So that's a product name. It's not an actual plant from the canola plant. And that's the thing a lot of people believe. My dad took me snorkeling in Catalina Island as a young boy. Scary shit. I love it. I loved it. I absolutely love it. I loved that I could, going from that to scuba diving, being able to go underwater and the areas that you would, I want to look under that ledge, but I'm running out of air, so I got to go up, from holding your breath and then being able to do it. That stuff's so awesome. What's your thoughts on the pandemic? There's a song available on YouTube and uploaded 2014. Everything showed in the video mimic 2020, prevented, serious distance, lockdown. Listen. The pandemic happened. Carbon, the molecule, or the coronavirus, 2019 did happen, but if you ask people how many people died and were affected, it was way less than what people believe. Most people think it was hundreds of millions of people that died around the planet, and that's just not true. It was a pandemic that was made scary. A bunch of people jumped on the bandwagon and said, how can we profit off of this? We're having newscasters that are publicizing this issue. How can we profit? So then people started saying, oh my God, look, you can take frickin' blah, blah, blah and live, or you can die. So buy my product or perish. Even ethanol is a good source of energy. Yes, right. Yeah. Look, humans put so much more pollution during the Industrial Revolution than the modern day. Even China put. This is one thing people don't understand. The air is liquid, so to speak. So it doesn't stay. If you pollute above your country, it doesn't stay above your country. So if China is making more stuff and pumping more into the industry because we stop making stuff, but we don't stop buying it, which means it's still being made. And it's called, yes, it doesn't work like that. You're not, and then it goes up and it gets diluted, and then more plants, and then new plants might come create to help clean the atmosphere and whatnot. It's not. It's selling fear is what it is. I'm in Scotland and we're looking forward to being like the Caribbean cocktails on the mountainside. What up, Sherry Royals? It said imitate Beetlejuice, not mock him. Oh, sorry, my fart. But lots of Arctic ice, which come. It's nearly spring for all things. Make billions of colonies of bacteria in an artificial pond, feed them free oil. Yeah, right. Why aren't we even attempting that? We have all this free space to put solar panels and stuff and windmills. Why don't we make big ass ponds? Because then somebody that the oil companies will call that pollution, and so that you don't mess with their profits. What up, B2B? Yes, jeez, dude. Jesus is king, brother. The Earth is 4 billion years old, and we have 20 years left. Have you ever smelled crude oil? Then you will know. Crude oil stinks. Pandemic has already happened before. Yeah, lots of times. It was a pandemic. Adrian! My friend was in a coma for 3 months and a bunch of older people died in our community. No, I'm not saying it didn't happen. Dude, I had my neighbors. I had some of my neighbors die. My next door neighbor died from it. And well, he got COVID, and then he died. He got what's called turbo cancer. So he had cancer like 30 years ago that was in remission, and then COVID virus somehow reactivated his cancer, and then it killed him in like 2 weeks. Earth is 4 billion years old. How does it not have gray hair? That's right. Right. How come people don't ask the good questions like that? And oh, for fuck's sake, our girl called out for Sunday shift. Our grill cook called out for Sunday shift. Guess what I'm doing? Yay! Not even care about environments because I'm here for 50 years and I've got one. Yep. I know a guy who also died from COVID. Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying it wasn't a thing. I'm saying it was definitely amped up and it scared the shit out of a lot of people. But more people die from other things. Yes. And the thing is, we know that the things that were profitable, selling masks and stuff like that, do not help. They were a psychological thing to keep people far enough away from each other. The 6 foot thing was made up. It was an arbitrary number to keep people thinking about space. The washing hands probably did the most for anything. But it was absolutely crazy. Our dean microbiologist proved corona is not human made. It's evolved. I'm not saying it. Yeah, you can test for it. You're transgender. We're fairly young too. Back with earthquakes. Died with COVID. Who died with COVID? Was fairly young too. Yeah. Listen. I also know people that died from car accidents that died of COVID too. So they definitely, when you profit off of it. So the hospitals got, I think it was $17,000 or $27,000 for having to deal with such a bad issue. So if someone died from COVID, so a lot of people wanted to make money off of it too. So the numbers are all skewed, and that's all being researched to come out. People take advantage of every situation. I'm Harry Potter. What up, Neo? Let's stay on topic. Chernobyl polluted 100,000 square kilometers of radiated pollution that does not stagnate. They need to make solar panels. Yeah, right. Why don't they government help? Why doesn't the government help that? Why doesn't the government just give out solar panels to make sure that they don't die? Why don't they stop putting carbon dioxide in soda? Why didn't they do any of that? Because you can just buy another car. You can spend more money to save the earth. No, if it was really as bad as they thought it was, carbon dioxide would not be allowed in Coca-Cola and all the other sodas. They send tanks of, you would no longer be able to buy dry ice at the grocery store. None of that. All that would be cut off instantly. What's going on, Kanash? Like I said it before, I love watching your channel. and learn stuff. Thank you, my friend Georgie. I'm dying laughing because nobody knows what we're talking about. My man, that's all right, my brother. Yeah, I know you and Lamb are talking about. That's a freaking personal communica. The China's largest country of pollution, yet the average temperature of the entire country has only changed by 1 degree in the past 100 years. Right. And this is the thing. You can, if you are paid, if a government says, here's $1 million, go find out if global warming's happening, you're going to find it. And if you find out, the problem is too many people found out that global cooling is happening. And now they call it climate change. When I was younger, they called it global warming. Now they call it climate change for a reason, because then they could say, oh, it's changing in either direction. U.S. Armies figure out oil as kids' electric cars want to save the environment. Yeah, right. We make death machines and we want to save the environment. We are talking about everything all at once. Yeah, it's my fault. I'm in control of my life, absolutely. I'm more control than I've ever been, Oasis. Diesel fuel is a perishable product. It sets too long, bacteria grows in it. Yeah, I've seen some nasty fuel filters too. It's cynical to believe all the motivations are self-serving. Aren't there just good people anymore? Not in power. Not in power. So yes, there are good people. The problem is it's very, very small percentage of people that are put in power. And we gave bad people a pathway, an easy pathway to power. What bigotry does our government pull up? Just a bit of disturbance in gas supply, and they're allowing people to use wood, fire, coal, kerosene to subdue the panic among people. They enforce their views without thinking about it. Yeah, they don't care. Listen, if you listen to what Joe Biden said back in the 90s, he said the citizens of America are not America. He said the people of America are the government. So we are all, and that was straight up. Like, they're the ones that are making, they don't care what happens to us. Fauci has published papers saying 1919 flu was exacerbated by masks and pushes wear. He told people to put 3 on at a time. It doesn't scare me. Yes, it was. Michael Jackson, all I want to say is, right, and then he dies, right? That's crazy too. Last person to say COVID. COVID was scary. I'm pretty pissed when people didn't wear masks. A lot of people did, and it got a lot of people arguing with each other. But we know that listen, when they found out very early on that high carbon dioxide content in your lungs made it worse. And then you find out that wearing a mask raises carbon dioxide saturation in your lungs. So it was doing bad and good at the same time. It was, if you already had some COVID in you and you're wearing a mask, it made it worse. So and all of this science is available. We're discussing everything. Control the masses by any means necessary. That's exactly right. You're able to dictate and octate any solution. Can't tamper with the Coca-Cola profits. Nope. Black Plague wiped out a third of the Europe, and Spanish bird flu killed more than COVID even now. It sucked. Right, but they talked about that all the time. They said, this is our Spanish flu. Why don't they just build solar, wind, northern, southern border, supply energy to both U.S. and Mexico? Right. Why don't they? Listen, what they should have done is they should have built a bunch of manufacturing in America to start making solar panels and wind. But instead, they just bought it. And the production of those in China, the solar panels and the fiberglass, what are they called? The structures of the windmills. I can't remember what they're called. We can call them blades, but they had a name. Anyway, the amount of off-gassing from the resins and the plastics that made the solar panels and the windmills put off more than the device itself would have offset during its 20-year life. So they created more of an issue making the stuff to stop the issue. At this point, I'm just going to build an RTG to power all my electrical needs. Make it happen, brother. Somebody get this chat an award. I agree. Everyone's confused talking about different things. All right, I'm way behind here. All right, I want to get back to jokes. I think the reason everyone's confused is because bro is going through one comment at a time. I definitely do that. All steal the feathers. Cardi B would say we're discussing COVID and barn and speaking of gas, bullshit, what to fill a tank, water station, zero fuel. Slow the hell down, chat. He loved talking about ice cream. I love it too. A+ word salad. What is the secret to Tesla's free power if you work? I don't know. Joe loves ice cream so much he likes to sniff women and girls. Right, and there's so much documentation of it. And the other child train I lose money if they didn't do that through profit. Right, profits king. But what I say is nature provides a chance every species to flourish. The more they try to kill bacteria harder because they become invincible. This race will keep going though. Milk is a scam. B12 and D3 in milk. All right, sorry. All right, I'm caught up. My apologies. All right. Remember to drink your milk, kids. You can't drink, dude. You got to figure that out. All right, so my sorry. Yeah, I see the lightning. I'm not drinking your milk.
That crane said, I'm done today.
If you don't drink milk, you'll die. And brother, I'm skipping past everything. I'm trying. False. Uh-oh, nice! It says no one was hurt. How do they know? I asked you yesterday, do you date a Latina? You answered me, I've dated many. How many is many? More or less. 8.
That statue is judging everyone here.
Milk. That sucks. Listen, I'll tell you one interesting thing about milk from the store. Okay, they pasteurize it at a very high temperature that can degrade the bacteria in milk, the probiotic bacteria in milk, and it also destroys lactase. Lactase is what counteracts milk sugar, lactose. So you can go buy lactase, and then you can drink milk, whether that's yours or not, or you could be allergic to milk sugar. Try raw milk. Get yourself some milk that's not been completely wackulated. We had to do that back before we had refrigeration because milk would people would be delivered on people's front porches until they got home from work. And so it sat in the sun for hours and hours at a time. A lot of times, if you don't drink milk, you will die at some point. That's true. What up, Mark? Even though solutions only help the people that were in control. Right. They're the Americans. They're the Americans. Or they're the Britons, the people in control, the people that need to worry about it. Ass cheeks. Just listening. Shine bright like a diamond. Daily, everyone dies at some point. Daily, I'm going to die. Whether or not, literally cannot process milk. All right, yeah, that's an issue. No Latinas here. Or I date someone myself. Latino intolerant. Raw milk is a scam. Be a farmer says gut bacteria important, hence milk too. And yeah. Listen, I was lactose intolerant. I mean, it would just give me the squirts and a lot of gas. And I cut my milk 50-50 now. I buy raw milk, pet milk, which comes from right down the street. I get to talk to the people that do the milking. And it's unbelievable. The difference is unbelievable. The butteriness, the creaminess of the milk, it's absolute. It's just so much more enjoyable. And I don't have the intestinal issues. Not crying, simply saying I'm not about to spend 4 hours sitting myself for once. Bit of good news. Oil prices dropped 8% in the last 12 hours. People with Pokeballs as profile pictures are scammers. Why are the governors of Massachusetts and California trying to block state out? Because they've robbed them. They've robbed those people blind. Dude, look, when Mark Zuckerberg is becoming a Republican that the Democrats have gone too far. Right? Absolutely. So they want to say that unrealized gains, which means if you've got stock or investments that you haven't sold yet, so you haven't realized the gains. So you can buy $1 million worth of silver and it goes up to $10 million. But if you haven't sold it, you don't have the money. California wants to tax you on that like you have it every year, not just once. That's crazy. So he's moving. April. He's moving Meta to Florida. Get your lactose-free milk now, time traveler. I was kidding. I'm not a scammer. I do have a course I'd like to sell you. Imagine dating those 8 Latinas all at the same time. No, they would that would have been a bloodbath. I'm lactose intolerant, but drinking milk all day long. Creamy like lotion. Puts lotion on the skin. Do the thug shake. I don't even know what the thug shake is. Profile, why don't you take my credit card? Abuse my innocence. I love to. What's your mother's maiden name? Dun. Stop lying, lamb. I grew up on a farm. We had so much goats and goat milk was so much better. Never had issues until we moved to the city. There's something in store milk. Yeah, there's something, in store milk and not in store milk. Yeah. What up, Billy? I just needed another intelligent person to speak the truth. Thanks. Hey, Eric, I'm trying to do my best, brother. Zuckerberg's a Republican, right? And that's so freaking crazy. Leave my mother out of this. Pink milkshake. Fine, what was your first pet's name? We can't see Antarctica clear ocean out of Google Maps. They just pixelated it. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Oh! So look,
Imagine being able to build an app with your
my
name
first
on
pet's
it
name was
just by
Anthony
thinking about
Burger.
it. Meet Base 44.
Okay.
Trying a new workout. What was your favorite teacher's name in high school? Industrial dairy. It's like Arla or injecting cows or something that reduces CO2. And yes, this is a problem because this is how they work. This is how the cow works. You can't freaking mess with it. We need to save the planet, but you're destroying everybody's health. It's freaking nuts. Hamster's my favorite pet. They're so much fun to catch when they run. Reverse aging, just repair telomeres. Right. And we've known that for years. We've known that for years and years and years and years and years. But more science has went into not curing anything, but helping symptom control. There was sort of artifacts like a saucer more than a UFO crash. I don't know if it was a UFO, I mean, an outer space UFO, but definitely military. Definitely, when you have a place like America and you want to make sure you can go to Russia, you know, if just in case you get attacked, you're definitely going to train and test your equipment in very, very the worst, the harshest environments. So I can, with a very strong, I truly believe that we've tested a lot of stuff that crashed up there, and they don't want other governments to find it either, because we're talking about stuff that's not patented. It's 10 years in our future type technology. Antarctica used to look like it was all funded together on Google's maps, but now it makes some sense. The satellite going north to south is Black Knight. That satellite's the Black Knight. Where were the women's names? Maria, Laura, Dulles, and Martha. What you mean? Were any of those women's Maria? Yes, Maria, absolutely. Not Martha. I've dated 3 Marias over the past 40 years. Yeah, 3 Marias. And then Jessica was one of them. Jeez, I'm not going to say another one because their names are too specific. They put the lotion on the skin and in the basket again. I didn't have a favorite teacher, but I loved the woman who brought the school milk. Before I had a hamster, I tried the idea out, so I used freaking lamb. Milk and cookies. You know which creature is immortal? Hint: it's a river. There's a lot of them. What's the bear? The water bear. The Telegard? No. Not Telegard. It's called the water bear. It's called the. And then there's a couple of what are they called? Also, they're like jellyfish that go back to when they get sick. They revert back to the polyp stage and they grow back up again. Then they grow young again. They grow back old again. What's it called? Science name for scientific name for water bear. Not nickname. Tardigrade. Guinea pig is a hamster. Tardigrades. There you go. Tardigrades. Yeah. Jessica. Jessica Alba. And we're not getting into that. What's Maria's best in the bedroom? Put the lotion on the skin again. Unless it wants the hose again. It's something YouTube cuts. Explain the joke. What's your favorite thing to do when you're bored? Stream. Whenever I have free time, I just start a stream. Play the video, buddy. I want to see that. Okay. Exactly. It's a knowledge base. Thank you, my brother. The government military is much more advanced stuff than their kitty, but the control manner. Yeah. 100%. Can you do a Carl impression from Sling Bay? I like them fried taters. Ain't got no gas in it. Liquid mercury drive. How quietly Lamb suddenly is. Okay, sorry, my bad. We'll get back to this. Oh, he's trying to break off. Was he trying to break off icicles? Hold on. Oh, somebody threw a snowball at his
Snow won.
What are you doing?
That was gonna get us home out of here.
Meanwhile, in our universe.
Not boxing, just friendly glove hug.
What's glove hug? It was a joke on the experimental reference of a comedic misdirection device. I don't believe in tardigrades. Damn. Reverse transcript based television. Listen. It's very, very interesting when you look into the science that's not being done in America. When you look into the science that's being done for telomere repair, it's absolutely amazing. When you look at when a lot of people think that stem cells is a conspiracy theory, and now it's used all the time, but it was so helpful in keeping people out of the medical system that it was not popularized. But a lot of people think stem cells, put on your tinfoil hat, but you can actually go get you can get stem cells injections in America, like in New Jersey. You can go all around the world to other places and get stem cell injections too, and it's absolutely crazy. Get hit with a snowball, instantly took the shovel by two hands to swing it. Tardigrade. They on your bumper. I got this. What kind of media-friendly answer is that? Mrs. Clean is the man. It's on my bumper. Can you read every comment for the next 2 minutes using a Sling Blade voice? That was excellent. I can't do it, brother. No, I can't, because for some reason I read them before I even know that I'm talking. It's the thought of evolution. This is proven just to be a fool and saying, don't worry a little head about it, Andy. Yeah, Andy. Don't worry a little head about it, bro. I don't appreciate it. Oh. Yeah, that's going to suck right to the balls. The government and military are like 10 to 15 years ahead of civilian tech. Right. So for instance, they're at we're at 5G when it comes to telecommunications. 5G, fifth generation. They're up to about 8th. And then when they get to 9th, they'll release 6th. When they get to 10th, they'll release 7th, and they'll always stay that many steps ahead. The stuff that's available for commercial use is retired. Stem cells with malignant cells combination make every organ maybe right. This is grown up talk. Evolution remains a theory because there's no evidence. That's exactly right. And the thing is, people get so upset because they paid for that knowledge. They paid for evolution is true, but they've never looked into it, because if you look where the curriculum came from, it came from false equivalencies and stuff. So you can't say, well, what do you think? God did it? Well, it wasn't evolution, so we don't know. So why do you want to continuously lie to people? It's crazy. You're not even grown. Gang, don't chill. Damn good people. You stay up on 110th grade universe. I'll see you at lunch. We're always 2 steps ahead, Lamb. He's wild. He's definitely wild. Interesting, the stuff they used to be. Yes, the Havana Syndrome stuff that's just coming out now. It's absolutely amazing what they decide to release. Absolutely amazing. 30 freaking wagadoo. I don't even have a basement. I want a slab. 2 steps towards the refrigerator. 2 steps towards the refrigerator. Who took care of first infant humans? Infant humans. They raise themselves. That's why they're allowed to choose their own. What up, DJDB? Although the modern proof of evolution will be all the dogs chase the cars got run down, didn't pass our car hating genes on. Yeah, brother. Lamb is the best food. Not funny. All right, now you got me freaking Billy.
Cable kickbacks.
we need
Never
Lamb
again,
now.
buddy.
Yo, I think I got a fight, bro.
We found the entrance. I remember the tardigrade episode of Star Trek. Trek, T-R-E-C-K. No, sorry, that's an awesome way to spell it. Trek. Big up, Billy. Stem cell harvesting. Yes, listen, dude. Why do you think Badortian is so popular and so pushed, so popularized? Why do you think? What do you think? It's because they're harvesting the stem cells. They want that placenta, baby. They want that placenta. They don't care. But the mother will have a rough life. No, you don't give a sh. They don't care at all. They'll put you in front of a wall of bullets. They don't care that you have a rough life. No, they want them stem cells. The ex-mother-in-law resembled a tardigrade. Lamb Army versus the Billy Army. Fight them. Fight. I'm not getting a pugilist with you, ND. I can beat you with my wit. So there's a baker who has no hands, and how the hell does he make the holes in the donuts? Rude name. But still, he would still need hands. I guess with his feet and his doolally. Let me get my popcorn. All right. You know who's been using that? The missus. Stop using words like pugilist and act like I understand.
One workday later, she smells employed.
Scientists cut brain into two halves to study consciousness. Which part of the brain is conscious? What's your opinion? Neither does. We know that thoughts, that consciousness isn't in the brain. That's one of the holy grails of science. We have no idea what a thought is. We have no idea what consciousness is. One of the theories that is not in the public but is in academia is there's a theory that it's a field. It's like and we're radio receivers of that field. Lamb chop. Allow F-47 6th-gen stealth fighter starting in the 1950s with alien blueprint. Rastafari, my friend. The ends in it. Don't our jets start with blueprints? I was going to say the same thing. We didn't have that Mach 6 wind speeds until the 2000s. Well, we had, listen, Archangel was made before the SR-71. That was publicized in the 70s, so we definitely had that technology in the military-industrial complex before it was let known to us. My mother-in-law looked like Godzilla. What they did in Disney World, something strange for the common public. They're freaking nuts, dude. W. Choxy. Consciousness in the brain, field soul. Consciousness not in the brain, right? We know this. Listen, we over the past like 70 years that we've been doing brain surgery and being able to touch parts and electrically like probe the brain, you can't trigger thoughts. You can't trigger awe. You can't trigger love. No one has a seizure and does mathematics. That stuff isn't in the brain. The memories may be somewhere, we don't know, but you cannot trigger that. You can't, and there's no seizure where somebody just starts doing math and stuff. That stuff, the thing you do consciously is not. Bombaclat. ChatGPT said there are tardigrades on the moon after it crashed, and they said space raisins. Nice. Yeah, you know that. They do, and Nagad has been already long before I talked about it. I've been flying since 2015. God, I love this. Lamb has to leave mine pen. All right. Oh, hold on. What? What happened? She hit herself. Her daughter stepped on the rake. I guess exactly. Free stem cells to be exact. We don't have to be paid for it. So we know one of the reasons that the royals all over the world, the leaders, the kings and queens, the reason that chocolate was so that they wanted it, even though they drank it when it was bitter, was because of we knew that they liked it for some reason. Now cocoa, high percentage cocoa, 78 or above, I believe, maybe 72 or above, cocoa-based chocolates, or just straight cocoa, releases more stem cells from your bone marrow into your bloodstream, called free stem cells. So they're available in your blood. So absolutely, let me just show you so you don't think that I'm lying to you. Cocoa and free stem cells. Mm-hmm. Okay, high flavanol cocoa, dark chocolate, 70 and above, stimulates the release of stem cells from bone marrow into the bloodstream, aiding in cardiovascular repair and regeneration. Studies show 2 cups of high flavanol cocoa a day can double circulating stem cells. How did they know that back then? Well, they probably didn't, but they probably noticed that people that loved hot cocoa or cocoa healed from war battles sooner or injuries sooner. So then over the decades, centuries, that turned into why it was so needed, so requested. This guy's Lamb is dead in friendly fire. Billy Army, we're going to cooking for a whole company. All right, Lamb, brother. I used to be a street prize fighter. Memory is in the hippocampus brain part. Right. So memory. There you go. Right. But thought isn't. Like when you come up with a new thought that turns into memory. Bye, lamb. I'll be back. Flavonoids. There you go. 110th grade. Jack of all trades, professor. Hey, brother. 2 cups of cocoa. 2 cups of cocoa. So I use raw cocoa, 100% cocoa in my coffee. Creatine, cocoa, and collagen. Those are the 3 C's I put in my coffee. That would make 4 C's. And then sugar, which doesn't start with a C. But yeah, so creatine, cocoa, coffee, and collagen. Every day, twice a day usually. Imagine if someone flipped out on you and called you stupid effing tardigrade miffer. Isn't the Archangel X15, and so I remember specifically melting upon re-entry. The Archangel was the precursor to the SR-71. It wasn't even released publicly until more recently. Archangel versus SR-71. Archangel was 63 to 68. SR-71 was 66 to 1990. So in 1963, but you never heard about the Archangel, the A-12, until much more recently, because that was super secret. American troops were in Afghanistan on the hill where something was hidden. Those expedition gone missing. Something. Yes, that's an awesome dude. I've listened to a bunch of the military stories about that stuff. No. 2 cups of coffee. 2 cups of coffee with I put 1/8 of a cup of cocoa into that. So a 1/4 cup of cocoa total throughout the day. Space raisins. It's only 2 cups. Inject stem cells wherever needed in the body. And they do. A lot of weightlifters, a lot of bodybuilders that blow out their backs and stuff, they're getting injections. Robbie, who's the black Mr. Universe? Ronnie Coleman. He wasn't able to walk on his own until he started doing it. Now he's lifting again. Freaking wackadoodle B2B. I need cocoa for my dogs. Always fight. Need to heal fast. 2 cups. No. So I can just go grab it. If I wish I was on my phone, I would show you. I use 1/8 of a cup scoop. And it's just straight baking cocoa, just 100% cocoa. It's not cocoa powder that's like mixed with non-clumping agents and stuff like that. It's just straight cocoa. What kind of wrong cocoa? You know what kind. You exactly know what kind. 2 girls, 1 cup of cocoa. The tardigrades on the moon, basically raisins. They shrivel up. Right, and then they get moist again. Daily, that wasn't cocoa. Cocoa ain't supposed to have corn in it. Wrong type of cocoa. Isn't the tardigrades the most resilient living thing they can do in comatose? Right, so they can completely dry out, and then you rehydrate them, and they go back to living, and they can still reproduce and stuff. Like everything, they dry out. We degenerate. You're degenerate. I might be there with you. Oh, damn, right in the teeth. I'm a gift to the world. Hey, you are indeed.
Trust me, that fish was massive.
Remember, we sent tardigrades into space before anything else to study the effects of organic matter. I said I got tickets. I said I got 2 tickets to Iron Maiden, baby. Come with me Friday, don't say maybe. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby like you. Let's normalize using cocoa on a burger and sandwich. Date a girl named Coco. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby like you. I'm sure there's a man in a jar involved making his cocoa potion. Making the potion. Mixing up the medicine. There you go. Genital. Hello. 110th grade best singer.
On the YouTube Music app, you can bump your
every
favorite
day
songs
food
in the
company.
background. While you are
Everyday food companies come up with new products to change normal food habits to the extent that it feels immoral to society to consume less processed foods. Yeah, you listen, if you want to look at how bad processed foods are for you, look at the gut. Look at what emulsifiers do to the gut. We have a protective oily layer in the gut that emulsifiers act like a detergent to. They wash it away. That allows more toxins from other stuff we eat that should just turn into poop and leave our body to absorb into our body. Jesus, this took a turn. All I say is D, and that man will never use a bathroom again. Don't forget to curse the Veritas guy from last stream. Welcome to 111th grade.
We just watched a shoe travel.
A shoe.
Just pop the fake teeth back.
Greetings from across the pond under the same skies. Chris, you have read the works of Benetov. That's when I was born, 77. Stalking the wild pendulum, mechanics of consciousness. I farted. That means your food's working, John.
When your
Malkovich.
ad goes underground, literally.
They never learn the nicknames, just the literal model names. Yeah, the fun fact, we do have the SR-72 now. I didn't know that. Oh. What up, Jonathan, brother? We just watched Snow Joe Travel. I just call my dad in the forum. All right, okay, let's see. All right, so I'm gonna call it right here. I gotta go help a neighbor. So I'll be back in about 30 minutes, about 45, probably 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's 2:45 right now. I appreciate y'all joining me for the fun and education. But we'll be back in about 45 minutes. All right, love y'all. See you soon. Bye bye.